Hey, good evening. Good evening. I am live again. I was on earlier today and I was sharing a project with with you. I was popping on because these today and tomorrow, these 2 days, I've opened up my membership and so I wanted to get on here and share a project, talk a little bit about it and get to know you better. So, as I'm waiting for people to come, let me just say really quickly that I hear other artists say that they lose motivation. They lose that oomph. I just can't get motivated. And hi, Joni. How are you? Thanks for popping in. Thanks for telling me that you're here also. It's always great to see you. You know, people say, I'll hear them say, like I was saying a minute ago, that they lost motivation. They just can't seem to get that creative, oomph going again. Well, the situation is the more you create, the more you build your creative energy, the more you're motivated to do it. And there are times when we go into slumps. There's also times when situations in our life can be very challenging and difficult. I find though that sometimes when I'm going through a difficult situation, I really turn to my art. I turn to creating something. Not that I create anything fantastic or fabulous, but I find it as a great outlet. It is a wonderful release and it's a way to just stop my mind from looping around what actually is going on that's, bothering me, and it gives me something else to focus on. So, art serves so many wonderful things for us. Um one way to be creatively motivated is to think about situations or times or events um, that have meaning to you, that are significant to you, and then jump off of those, take off of those things can be inspiration to us, and that's what this little project is here. I have already created a video for this. You will find it if you want to look for it. You'll find it over in my little art village. How do you get to the little art village? You type in on your computer myartsisters.com. It'll pop up the page that you will find the little art village of where I bring all my members to, and go to Camper 3, because in Camper 3 is this video, which I already created today. Also, the download, let me put it here so you can see it better. The download that goes with it. So you can download this and use it as a template if you want to create, follow along with me in that video. Or what I like to do, and I always tell my members, if you don't feel like creating something, if you're just not quite into pulling out all the paint and everything, use these downloads, use these templates as coloring pages, and just allow yourself to relax. Pull out the old fashioned crayons because they say that a lot of times getting that creative juice means bringing in something that we're familiar with, some of those old things that we used as kids. So anyway, these make great coloring pages. How do you get to this again? Go to myartsisters.com, click on Camper 3, and that will get you there. Now, the other thing, what we're really going to do tonight is I'm going to spear off of this. And I talk about, this is called balloon wishes, and it's actually an event that I did with my children around New Year's Eve. We would get a bunch of helium balloons, and I would give them each a helium balloon, and they would write on their balloon and tie it, on a piece of paper, and then tie it to the string, their wishes or their dreams or whatever for the coming year. Kind of set your goals, but do it fun. And then at midnight, we would set them off and let them go. And it was a lot of fun to do. So that's what inspired this piece of work. And that's what I, thought about as I was creating it. I'm going to make a small version of it. And it's going to be something that will be a lot quicker and I think, easier to do. So if you don't have a lot of time, that's what this video is going to be all about. I have this cute little doll. Isn't she just darling? I just had to use her for something. And so she's going to be our balloon holder tonight. All right. Now, I've got these pages too, these papers. And whereas with this one, it was all done, it is mixed media, but it's done with watercolor primarily. I'm going to use my paper and some matte medium to work on this project here. Now let's cut this. I'm just going to start ripping this up. Hello, I see we've got more joining. Go ahead and put your name in the comment and say hello. Tell me where you're from. I met a lady today that's here in Texas, and I found out that she's not far. I mean, she's a little bit of a distance, but she's not that far from me. So it's always fun to realize where people are from. Joni, where are you from? I probably asked you that before, but you have to forgive me. I don't always remember everything. My brain gets a little bit scattered sometimes, and I don't remember all the time where those are. Let me know where you're from. All right, I'm looking for a brush that I don't care about ruining. Because if you start using your brushes for this matte medium, it's glue, and it's like glue, and it really could ruin a brush quickly. If you've got a great way, I mean, I just clean mine out basically and wash them. But if you've got some super duper way and you use matte medium and you can clean your brushes, please list it right here and let us know. Pennsylvania. Oh, that is so awesome. Love, love, love to meet and talk with people that are up north. And of course, the question is, how cold are you? I am not a fan of the cold, so I am always very, very curious about how cold people are and what it's like for them. All right, here we go. We're going to put this down here, and I'm just going to start creating this little gal, and I want to do it quickly. I want this to be a fast project. I don't want it to be a long one, so I'm going to just work very quickly here. Also in the comments, you might post and tell me, is there, that could be fun up there, couldn't it? You know what? I don't like, this is just a preference for me, but I do not like sharp edges on my paper. It doesn't seem to, I just don't like that abrupt. So I'm going to lift that up and put it back down right there so that it's not, I don't mind it on the edge where it's going to be, but I really don't care for it being, you know, having these sharp edges. So I always rip them. Up. I'd like to know from you, if you're watching in that, what is your favorite tool, or what do you like to use when you're creating? Do you prefer a certain style? Do you have some people, well, if I'm going to grab something, I used to do a lot of acrylic painting on canvases. And then I decided I wanted to expand and do some other things. And so that's when I really went more towards mixed media and adding all these other wonderful things to it. So I find, though, that when I'm in the middle of creating, I usually just grab my watercolors. Don't know why that is per se, but I think they're not, you know, I can use them quickly, and time seems to always be an issue for us as artists, isn't it? And I don't want to ever say, oh, I don't have time to create. That is definitely a creative killer right there. Well, that's a pretty paper, isn't it? I have no idea what all we're going to create here, but we're just going to, I do know that I'm using that little girl, and it's going to be the same theme. Balloon Wishes. And we'll see what we come up with in this one. This was actually a project that I had done on with my membership probably about 2 years ago, and it was something that we did as an acrylic painting, and then they added paper, etc., and made it more 3D. It was a lot of fun. Let's see. I want to make sure that is not on top of that tape, because when I go to lift the tape, I want it to lift. And I think it's all good. Just put a little bit more over the top of that. There we go. Do you give templates for the drawings in your group? I absolutely do. I know some artists don't like to do that. They feel like it's, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like templates are important because, number one, a lot of times people are intimidated with drawing. They don't feel comfortable with it. And so this alleviates and gets rid of that. We've already got enough negative talk, don't we, hitting us. So that takes care of that right away. And then the other thing is, I always feel like like I said, these templates can be coloring pages. And so anytime one of my members doesn't feel like, that they have the time to create, or that they feel like they want to create. Oh, I've got some scraps here. I think I'll just kind of glue that little one down there. Don't know why. Let's just take this glue and stick it on. Then they can use it as a coloring page. And so it works out. So they have an option. If they feel like using the template, it's there for them. There are a few that I don't have templates for, but it's typically, that's rare. That's on the... And I figure, I'm creating something myself first. I might as well go ahead and create it for the group. Okay, Kathy, what are you doing? I don't know. I got sidetracked there. Let's see what I am doing. Grab that back. Let's just put that down. Do you ever lay something down on your desk and you can't find it? Sometimes my workstation you can't see it that way right now because, of course, the camera's facing straight down, but my workstation gets filled a lot of times. Okay, we need to dry that. Every time you do a layer, it's best to dry, just because if you don't, then it starts to, underneath. All right. Now I'm reaching down here. Because I just had the thought, I hope I brought them with me. My acrylic crayons. I must not have brought them. Usually I pack them in this, and I do not see them. I like to use the acrylic crayons. And I don't have them with me here at the house. But what I do have is some new playthings that I just recently got. I always wanted to try this. I don't even know how to say it correctly. Gouache. Gooch. I don't know how to say it. But I've got those. Those are fun to play with. Let's just take a few. and put those out. This one I haven't even opened yet. So got to open it up. It is a beautiful, I wanted to try these because they're supposed to be fluid like watercolor, but you get a vibrant color. They don't get, let's see, I want it to be more like night. Is this one opened? Yep. All righty. Okay, we'll set those over here. There we go. Let me grab my watercolor brush. And if you can see that a little bit, you know, I really think I want to go ahead and take myself. I can't take myself out of the camera, but let's make myself smaller. Which one will do it? There we go. Now you've got a better view of what's going on. You don't need to see me. All right. I'm going to add this in here. As another layer. Always think about layers. Layering. It's just like when you're cooking or something, you've not a great, I don't enjoy, you know, I don't go seek out recipes and think to myself, oh, I'm going to try this. But if you want it to succeed, until you're familiar with the recipe, you need to follow it, right? If you're trying to get what? And right now, my only goal is to create a background that I'm, you know, that's satisfied, that I'm happy with. And that's what I'm focusing on. I'm not getting too caught up in all the different things, the steps and whatever. Oh, I got a wet brush out before I dry again. I'm going to go ahead and put green down here. For the ground. And remember, this project, reason you're doing it, whatever, is just to play, just to get your materials out, just to take a few minutes and start building the creative energy. Because that's why a lot of people will stop, is they lose that creative energy. Why do they lose it? Because they stop creating. So you've got to keep that. You've got to keep the creative juices flowing. Let's go ahead and add some blue in here, some turquoise color. All right. Now, something I did a little bit earlier that was a lot of fun, and I'm doing this on a project with the ladies this next month. It is going to be in one of the classes that I give the members. And it's where you take plastic, kind that you cover your food with, and use it on your watercolor. and it creates this wonderful texture. Typically, you're supposed to take the plastic and put it on there and then let everything dry and then pull it off. But if you know me or you work with me very much, you know that I don't have a lot of patience for that. So I'm always experimenting and trying different things. Gouache. Oh, is that how you pronounce that? Thank you, Tony. I have been curious about it. I've, thought, oh, I'd really want to try that. And I just have never allowed myself to, or not allowed, but I just never taken the chance to do that. All right. I must have pulled this out. Give me a moment. That is not going to work right now. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. I'll just let it kind of dry as it's sitting there. The next thing is I like to use is gesso. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little gesso on here because it starts to blend things together and pulls it, kind of makes it so that this not ever so that everything is has more continuity. This is why I don't really do a lot of classes at night. It's hard to speak. I get tired. I get exhausted. What about you? I find it's hard. I know the ladies in my group are busy. They have lots, different things going on, and trying to figure out a time that everybody can meet or do a class together it's impossible. So I go ahead and I video the classes, and then I upload them into their library, their private library. One at a time. I bring it out the week that I've got it scheduled, bring it out on a Monday, and then we get on Zoom, or I can do it on a face, if they want, on Facebook, but I love the Zoom, and we talk. We talk about maybe the project, we talk about that, we do a show and tell. And I love that because I get to know these ladies, and yes, it is impossible to please everyone. But I get to know them on a one-to-one, and it's delightful. It is truly delightful. All right. I'm not sure why I need my dryer, and it is not going to kick in for me. I know it's just a simple problem over here, and it's a problem of being pushed in correctly. There we go. All right. I might go, let's go a little darker with this one. I'm going to bring in, I don't want brown. I don't want that black. I want to bring the sky darker. And the balloons, we could do white or we could do colored. This one I went ahead and I don't know where I put it, but there it is. We did colored balloons, and it was a lot of fun to do that. This one I'm thinking about making the sky darker. But let's just add another layer here. And wash over that. Pull up what I've got. A lot of times when I tear paper, I start to see, and I grew up in the mountains area where there's a lot of mountains, and I'll see mountains when I tear out paper. And I see a little mountain ridge right here. See if I can find a black. And the paper, the way it rips, it just creates this wonderful, you just have to follow it. And it creates the mountains for you. Okay, let's put the horizon line right there. Not that that's super important, but there we go. Kind of shadow them, put a little shadow, little shading on. You can't really see them. But there they are, back in there. I'm going to use this ink. See where a tiny brush is. This is brown. This is acrylic ink, and it's called, this one's burnt umber. Get a little bit on a brush. And kind of follow that down. Let's wet it. We're just pulling the ink down a little bit on the top. We're not trying to fill it in, but I'm wanting it to stand out. So I'm needing to just add a little color here and there, a little variation. I want to leave the blue in. Go down here and create this line, maybe a little darker, like that. A lot of times when I use this, I will use my gesso to lighten it up, spread it out a little bit, and it's really, you can get some great textures with that. Okay, we'll just blend it out a little bit more. Like so. All right. It did make a neat background, didn't it? See, that's just the coolest trick, is to rip that paper and let that paper become your image. And you don't have to sit there and, okay, how do I draw in a mountain? How do I draw this? And then add the shading. Just follow the line and pull that shading down a little bit over it. And boom, there you go. Simple, simple. But I can tell you, every single time when I'm creating, I will go through this period where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have made a mess. This looks awful. So just keep going. Okay, got that dry a little bit. Now, let's get the girl on. Cute little girl. Here she is right here. And she's, they've cut and left that white. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see, this is a mistake. You never know till you try, right? I think I'm going to go around her and get rid of some of that stark white. Now, I need to be aware of this, cautious possibly, I don't know, but I'm using the distressed oxide. And so if I, decide to paint over or whatever, it's going to bleed. It's going to move. There. There we go. And for her, I'm not going to use anything to put over the top of her. Matte medium. If I hadn't have done that, I could have used matte medium and gone over the top. But because I did do that, I'm just going to use good old glue and adhere her that way. The other thing you can do, of course, if you want to put another layer of something over the top, is to use a spray fixative over the top of that. But I never like to do that inside for my own self. Oh, she's so cute. I just think she has the sweetest face. There's something about these vintage images that they just have the sweetest little faces, don't they? Okay, she's busy there. Now we are ready to create our balloons. Somewhere in this little pile here is a pencil. All right, so she's going to be holding a balloon that comes out this way. It's going to go up this way. We've got a little circle. Let's give her another one because she's got a lot of wishes. A lot of wishes. And of course, it's always more pleasant with odd numbers. So we'll put a third one back behind there. All right. Let's figure out the colors to paint those. I'll use my acrylics. I've got them right here by me. If we want a hot pink, I'll just pull a few colors out. Give me your thoughts. What you think? We got the hot pink. Got a purple. I think that would be a pretty color. I'm not sure what that is called. A yellow green. That would be nice. Might be fun to do the yellow green. Turquoise. What do we think? Let's go with these three. We can always put something over the top. I'm going to keep them pretty close to the same. These are new. I'm going to have to take off the lids for these. And I won't need very much. So grab a brush. Use what's on the cap. She's getting her balloons ready to launch. Out in the night sky. That down there. Go over it one more time. Probably need to dry it and then go over it again just to make it thick and help it stand out. Yes. I love that texture that's created by the plastic. Da, 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 da. Let's go with the yellow. Put it right over here. Using what's on this little lid thing. Okay. We're coming along. Coming along. Like I said, if you want to see the other video where I created this earlier today, this one, just go to myartsisters.com and click on Camper 3. You'll find it there. But I really like this one. This is turning out to be a fun surprise. And it's just the right size, too, to be like a little card or something. Well, look at that. The plastic didn't come off. There, I'm going to have to get a little messy with that one. I have to get my fingers. Get that lid off. Okay. It's going to be this little balloon stick back here. And I need to turn it. I'm a lefty, so. There. Don't have a lot right there showing. Okay, we'll come back over. I'm going to put the yellow down one more time. And then we'll put the strings. And this project will be through. No, I decided to go ahead and open up one last time. Of course, we're at the end of the year, but my membership, I've started sending out Happy Mail and that, and it's, it's expensive to mail things. So I'm going to do a price increase come January. But so this opening is the last opening for the current price I've had all year. And then it'll be changing come January. And so it's a great time to lock in at that price. Here we go. Those colors of that balloon just seem to suit her. kind of that childlike fun. All right. Go around our edges a little bit. We'll draw the strings. We'll take the tape off and we'll call this little gal complete. I'm putting a little bit of the distressed oxide over the blue, because remember, I did this is done in the evening, nighttime, actually, midnight. So I'm just creating a little bit more darkness up in the sky. And it kind of pulls everything together anyway, blends it all in. There. Use my white jelly roll. Strings come down like so. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and put like some little stars up here. Fun thing about art is it just tells a story. And maybe only you know the story. Doesn't have to be known by everyone. There, a little starry night. All right, one last dry and off comes the tape. There. I really love putting the tape around it. It gives such a finished look to it. It's like it's already framed. When you pull it off, it's just in for such a wonderful surprise. There we go. There she is. Very thrilled with that. That is so cute. All right. And that is called Balloon Wishes. And it's the second project for today. All right. So if any questions, Joni, how you doing? Any questions you have? Like I said, the membership is opened. I'm going to go ahead and bring myself back. Here we go. The membership is open now. It's open today and tomorrow, the 28th and the 29th. And the price is locked in at what it is currently. Come January, it will change and go up. And the reason it's going to go up isn't for any other reason other than I want to be able to send out Happy Mail. I did that during Christmas time with the ladies, and it's just fun to send out every once in a while surprises and that. So it's not a huge increase, but mail has gone up. I've got some cards that I'm going to be posting and sending out come January. And so that just makes it a lot easier to be able to send some fun things out. All right. You have a great night and thanks for showing up. I will be back on here tomorrow. I'll do one probably about 11 or 12 tomorrow. And I'll see you then. Okay. Have a great evening.